It's episode 857. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. And this is a bit of it's going to start like a doomsday podcast, a bit upsetting. And the reason being is I was on holiday in Tenerife not so long ago. And I walked past this place every single morning where I first found out that Andy Martin, one of my really good friends growing up, had a massive impact on me, died and passed away. Unfortunately, towards the end of his life, we wasn't as close as we once was. But that doesn't take away from the fact how much of an impact he made on me. So I was walking past this place and I was like, all of a sudden started remembering, thinking, oh shit, this is the place where I found out that Andy Martin had lost his life. And I started thinking, because I was on my own at this point, I'd just been for a run, and I was starting thinking, my God, what a waste. He was only in his 30s. What a waste of a life. I can't believe it. And I started thinking about my own life and thinking, well, I want to make an impact. And I started thinking, well, what happens if I pass away now? I haven't made the impact I want to make on the world. And what sort of impact do I want to make on the world? And I started having these thoughts and feelings. And then all of a sudden it hit me. And it doesn't, you don't know the impact you're making. I could be making a profound difference to one person's life right now that alters the trajectory of their life, and I would never know. And that's what Andy Martin did for me. I'll give you an example. So me and Andy Martin used to go out all the time having a drink because we was in the same football team together, and for some reason we just connected. We got on really, really well. I love going out with him. He was a great laugh. It was just he was a happy person. And I love being around him. And one evening, me and Andy was on the way back in a taxi. I got a phone call from my hairdresser and said, Dean, there's a big party in Hedden. You should definitely come. You should definitely come. And I looked at Andy Martin and said, there's going to be a party in my hairdresser's. And my hairdresser at the time, this sounds big headed, but she wanted me to date her and stuff like that. And I'm not really interested. So I turned to Andy Martin and I said, I don't know, what do you reckon we should do? And Andy was like, what do you mean? Is there women there? I said, is there girls there? Yeah, loads of girls. And Andy was like, let's go. And so we literally turned the taxi around and went half an hour the other way to this party. When we got there, it wasn't a party. It was my hairdresser and her friend. That is it. And I was like, oh no. And so I told my hairdresser, I'm going to bed. I don't feel very well. I'm going to bed. And she was like, no, stay. I was like, no, I'm going to bed. And anyway, so I went upstairs, opened the room, jumped into bed, and there was another girl in the bedroom, and she started screaming at me, get out of my bed. Anyway, as it happened, that is now my wife, that girl. That is the first time we met, and we sat up talking all night, which was fantastic. In the morning, I was like, because at this point, I've not seen what she looks like, and I'm like, and so I was like, please be good looking, please be good looking in the morning. And then when I first saw what she looked like, I was like, shit, she's too good looking. She's too good for me. She's never going to be interested in me. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the moral of the story is that if it wasn't for Andy Martin saying, let's go to this party, I would have never met Claire. Or I certainly wouldn't have met Claire. I was going to Australia the next week. So I wouldn't have met Claire. Our paths probably would never have crossed. And so without that meeting, me and Claire would not be married. My kids wouldn't be born if it wasn't for Andy Martin. And so Andy Martin had a profound influence on me and my life and the trajectory. That one decision that he made has turned my life that way instead of all a million and one's different ways. My kids wouldn't be here if it weren't for Andy Martin. And so I started thinking, well, do you know what? He's made ripples in my life in a very, very positive way. But he would never, ever know that. I never had a chance to tell him that. And I wish I would. I obviously seen him many, many times after that. And I just wish I'd have said to Andy, thank you, mate. Thank you. Because without you, we wouldn't have been in this situation. I wouldn't be here with Claire. The kids wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have Zach. I wouldn't have Kai. And so the moral of the story is that we never, ever know, and we can't know the impact that we're all having on other people's lives. Some people have positive impacts, some people have negative impacts, but every single day, I can promise you one thing, you are having an impact on somebody's life. And that impact, it can be a knock-on effect. It's like a domino effect because of that one thing you've done or said can have a massive impact, not just on their life, but on somebody else's life. For example, if you're kind to the barista at the coffee shop, then it can make them feel better. And when you feel better, you are nicer to other people. So then the barista is extra specially nice to the next person. And then the next person who the barista has been nice to might go back to work. And because of the barista's been so kind and nice and happy, they're a little bit more happy. It's impacted them. Then that person goes back to the office and they're a little bit kinder to the receptionist. And it's a knock-on effect. We have no idea. These are all invisible influences that we have every single day. So please, nobody out there think that you are insignificant, that you don't matter, that what you do doesn't matter. It does. It has a massive, profound impact on everybody else's life around you. We're all vibrations. It's like the pebble in the lake, in the sea. When you chuck that pebble in the sea, the ripple effects go on for miles and miles, well, maybe miles, but a long way. Depends how big the stone is. And so I just wanted to get it out there and just say that we're all making an impact. We're all making a positive impact on other people. And so I want you to be the positive influence on others, because it can be life-changing. It truly, truly can be life-changing. All right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.